Hi, I'm Pat Wesolowski. After homeschooling my 9 children for more than 30 years, I'm finally finished. Now I'm the homeschool specialist at Bryan College. In this presentation, we're going to be busting some admission myths. So sit back and enjoy these Mythbusters. Let's talk about preparing students for college without making common mistakes. There are a lot of myths going around that we are going to bust today. You may have heard that homeschool students have a difficult time getting into college. That is not true. That's a myth we can bust. Stanford accepted 27% of homeschool students that applied, whereas their public school counterparts were accepted at a rate of 5%. Colleges are actually seeking out homeschoolers. Many colleges are homeschool friendly, and Bryan College created my position because of this. You may have heard that a homeschool student must have either a diploma or a GED to get into college. Nope, not true. Another myth we can bust. Parents can issue diplomas, but they're not necessary to the college application process. If you'd like a template for a diploma, I can provide you one. Send me an email, pat.wesolowski@bryan.edu. My 9 children have never needed a diploma. They've only needed their transcripts. Gap year programs lessen scholarship opportunities. Well, that's not true at Bryan College. A student can take a gap year and come into Bryan without losing their freshman scholarships. What they might lose, though, if their gap year program has college credit and then they come to Bryan College, they would lose the opportunity to earn a master's degree tuition free, because that's only offered to incoming freshmen, not to transfer students. Each college has policies that define whether a student is an incoming freshman, qualified for freshman scholarships, or not. The same is true of students who take dual enrollment classes during high school. One of the best things that you can do for your student is to have their top college choices narrowed down by their junior year, by their senior year for sure, so you can check with these colleges and find out what their policies are regarding gap year programs, transfer students, incoming freshmen, etc. High school courses need to be accredited. Well, some public schools may require accredited courses for a homeschooler who's going to re-enter public school before they graduate. But for the most part, homeschool courses do not need to be accredited in order to be accepted by colleges. One exception might be foreign language. For instance, in Florida, there are some colleges that are requiring homeschoolers to prove that their foreign language course was accredited. Again, this is another reason to have your top college choices picked out so you can be prepared. Let's talk about the FAFSA. We are going to bust a myth. Some people say it does not matter when you fill out the FAFSA, but it absolutely matters, because oftentimes funding is a first come, first serve, so the earlier your student gets the FAFSA filled out, the better their chances of earning certain scholarships. A senior can fill out their FAFSA in October. In the past, the FAFSA was filled out in January, but now it's October, so that is very important. Athletes get all the breaks. In some cases, when they're courted by colleges, they do make exceptions for athletes, but homeschool students who are planning to play sports in an NCAA school, they have to provide a much more rigorous transcript than the average student heading to college. So they don't always get all the breaks. We can bust that myth. And there is a Facebook page that helps homeschool students figure out how to design their transcripts so they will be accepted by NCAA schools. You may have been told that transcripts must be provided by an official source. That's not true. If your student signed up under an umbrella school or with a private Christian school, they probably will provide the transcripts for the colleges. But parents do have the freedom to create their students' transcripts. They can submit them directly to the college for admission purposes. GPAs provided by homeschool parents are often questioned. Well, there's some plausibility to this. In many states, homeschool students are required to meet higher expectations than students enrolled in public or private schools in order to qualify for the state grants. So be sure you're aware of requirements needed for the schools your students are considering. Every student should take dual enrolled classes. In many states, dual enrollment classes are free, and parents urge their students to take these classes because they can gain college and high school credit at the same time. And that's a great idea if the student's prepared for those classes. And even when offered tuition free, dual enrollment can be costly for students who aren't prepared to pass college classes. If they fail these classes, they will stay on their record unless they retake and pass those classes. AP and CLEP credits always transfer. That's not necessarily true. Each college sets their own parameters regarding how many credits from AP and CLEP to accept, if any. Many times homeschoolers spend time and money to acquire college credits via AP or CLEP, only to find out the college they end up attending will not accept them or will not accept all of them. This is another reason to know ahead of time which colleges your students will be considering, so you can check with the policies of each school. Bryan College accepts CLEP credits, but we have limits on the number of credits we accept and on which subjects will transfer credits. College entrance exams are not important. Busted. With my older children, I did not believe this. Back then, and even now, I personally do not believe college entrance exams are a good indicator of how well a student will do in college. In fact, 3 of my 9 children are 4.0 students, and none of them tested very high on these tests. Unfortunately, the reality is the highest scholarships are usually the academic scholarships that are usually tied to the college exams. So whether taking the PSAT during the junior year for National Merit Scholarship or taking the ACT, SAT, or CLT, which is a new college entrance exam, for academic scholarship purposes, college exams can make a huge impact on qualification, admission, and affordability. Waiting until the senior year to plan for college works. This is plausible, and in fact I did that with my older children because no one advised me differently. So it might work, but opportunities are often lost by not planning ahead. Large universities offer more opportunities than small liberal arts colleges. Not necessarily. The process becomes more competitive with lessened chances for participation. A student may be able to participate and do many more activities at a smaller college than at a larger university. So be sure when you're looking at colleges, you take that into consideration. Now let's talk about some common mistakes to avoid. Before you have your students dual enroll, be sure they are ready for college classes. Also be careful about putting them on a secular campus. Because I homeschooled for more than 30 years, I had many friends who finished before I did, and some of their major regrets are putting a high school student on a secular campus. Another mistake is not preparing for college beforehand. Again, don't wait until the senior year to choose your top colleges. And encourage your students to be invested in the process. If they realize how much money they can earn by making high scores on the college exams, then they can be invested in this process. They can study and take the test multiple times until they get their scholarships as high as possible. The highest scholarship at Bryan College right now is for $18,000, and that's only on the college exam score. Then they qualify for honors, and they can also get scholarships for homeschooling, for music, for theater, for martial arts, and more. Another mistake homeschool parents often make is that they're not aware of scholarship potential. They don't realize how much a student can earn if they just take the steps to qualify. Almost every state has scholarship grants that are tied to the lottery, and if that's something you're comfortable with, look into those grants and see how they can qualify for those in enough time to take advantage of them. Also, some universities have scholarship events. At Bryan College, we have one each semester for seniors who have been accepted to Bryan who qualify by making a minimum ACT 21 or comparable score on the SAT or CLT. We invite them to this free event, and each student earns another $500 to $6,000 more in scholarship funds. And when we have the essay contest, one student earns 4 years tuition. Another common mistake is for parents and students not to take the college exams seriously. They're only offered 4, 5, 6 times a year, but you can take them repeatedly. They cost money, but the return on your investment could be huge depending on the scholarship amounts they earn. And don't assume you can't afford a private college. Private colleges offer multiple scholarships, and at Bryan, they all stack. So your students could qualify for an academic scholarship, an athletic scholarship, the homeschool scholarship, or one of the many other ones we offer, and end up with a huge scholarship bundle. So let's get to busting myths by starting your application today. There's information on this page that will talk to you about our affordable dual enrollment program. You can come and visit Bryan if you'd like. I have a blog that has articles on scholarships, transcripts, dual enrollment, and more. That's at patwezzo.wordpress.com. I also put together a free e-resource that you can download at bryan.edu/ebook. It not only includes a template for a transcript and a template for a diploma, but a timeline of what you should be doing from 9th to 12th grade to prepare your student for college. And if you'd like to have a package of Bryan College information mailed to you, send me an email, pat.wesolowski@bryan.edu. And if your student's ready to apply to Bryan, that link is contained on this page as well. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. I hope this presentation's been helpful to you. Thanks for watching.